Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the United Community Channel. And we are back with another transfer talk show. It's been a few days. I've gotten used to doing a couple of watch-alongs already, so I didn't get to do the one on Saturday. So it's good to be back. I haven't been on in a while, so it feels like a while, but it's good to be back. Plenty to talk about. We haven't been on in a few days, so there's been some updates in a lot of areas. And Jack, good to see you, man. Thanks for the gift. Appreciate it, pal. But yeah, I mean, plenty of updates, plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. There's some breaking news in the past hour or so that's going to be quite interesting to Manchester United and Manchester United fans. So we're going to get into that. Obviously, we're going to talk about Frankie de Jong. It would not be a transfer talk show without fucking talking about Frankie de Jong, would it? So we'll talk about Frankie de Jong. We're also going to be talking about Manchester United's link with 19-year-old striker Sesko from the Austrian League. So we're going to talk about him as well. We're going to talk about Milinkovic-Savic, and we're going to talk about Garnacho as well. Have some maybe some thoughts that I'd like to maybe get your ideas on as well, but we'll certainly get into it as we go. Great to see everyone in, guys. Again, I appreciate everyone who's in already. If you can, let's get it out of the way nice and early. Please smash the like button for us. It helps the channel out a ton. So anyone on TikTok, if you can just tap that screen, it would help us out a ton. And anyone on YouTube, feel free to like as well. So and as well, anyone on TikTok, if you do want the full experience, you can go over to our YouTube channel. We are live there as well. Link on the homepage, and it's probably easier to get a comment or a chat read out over there. It tends to be quieter than TikTok, so feel free to go over there as well. Anyone watching on YouTube, we do have the links at the top of our chat as well. The first link is for our Fantasy Football League United Community Channel, so make sure you click and join that. And I've also set up a Discord group, and the link is there as well, so you can go join our Discord United Community Channel, where we're going to talk all things football as well. But yeah, great to have so many people in, guys. Tig is in there as well. I see you as well, man. Thanks for joining us. Let's jump right into it. I suppose the main thing we need to talk about today, and it is, I suppose it's only breaking news in the last hour or so, and it's come from David Ornstein, and he says that Cristiano Ronaldo is travelling back to England for talks with Manchester United over his future. And it says it's unclear at this stage if Cristiano Ronaldo will train with Manchester United on Tuesday, but he is expected to have face-to-face dialogue with Erik ten Hag in the coming days. And it goes on to then say that Cristiano Ronaldo's return is believed to be viewed by Manchester United as a positive sign. Sources around the matter suggest it's increasingly likely that Ronaldo remains at United, but there is still a lack of clarity. Now, look, I mean, what do I think about this? I mean, first of all, I think it can be viewed in two ways. First of all, Cristiano Ronaldo is running out of options in terms of clubs he can go to, and obviously, the main one he's been looking at over the last maybe week or so has been Atletico Madrid. Now, I was absolutely shocked when I heard about Atletico Madrid. I really was. The fact that he's willing to tarnish his legacy with Real Madrid, to not win the league with Atletico Madrid, which he won't do, and he's not going to win the Champions League. So I don't really see the connection there. I don't see why he would want to go there. Right, okay, he is going to be in the Champions League, but Atletico Madrid are not going to win the Champions League. Even with Ronaldo in the team, I don't think they will. So I found it to be a weird link. I really did. And obviously, obviously he's looking for individual accolades more than anything, of course, but I think the fact that he is coming back to Manchester, I think, is a positive sign that he stays. Now, look, I've said it, and anyone who's, continuously watching me will know that I don't mind if he goes. I really don't mind if he goes. Now, I do want a replacement in, so if we can't get one, then I think it's very important that he stays. But if we can, if Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave, then let him leave. But, if he stays, will he be professional? Will he get his head down and work? I think he will. I don't think it's ideal, I suppose, preparation in relation to the start of the season, especially when we're going out trying to get players. And if we're trying to sign a certain player and then he's hearing that Cristiano Ronaldo wants out, and it just doesn't look good. But I'll call it now. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't start the first few games of the season at least. I think Martial gets his run, gets his chance, and if he takes it, he takes it. But I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo is up to match pace, by the start of the season, at the end of next week. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's a positive if he does stay. I really do. But again, like I said in the past, if he does decide to leave, I won't be overly disappointed. I'm all for the so-called journey we're going on with Ten Hag and how he wants to play and things like that. And look, Cristiano Ronaldo is not the future of Manchester United. So if he decides to leave and we do let him go this summer, then well and good. But look, if he stays, I think it's a positive thing. I do. Tyke says he's single-minded, only stays at clubs for Champions Leagues, and he doesn't care about legacies or anything like that. He's a self-centered player. Well, look, I agree with you there, Tyke. He has to be self-centered to put, I suppose, then kind of numbers up that he's put up throughout his career. So absolutely. But I think he's going to have to play Ten Hag's way, or else he won't play. I mean, Ten Hag does seem to have this kind of aura about him that, look, I don't give a shit who you are and what your name is. You either play the way I want you to play, or you won't play in the team. Now, I certainly do think that Ten Hag will have systems and a suitable style that will maybe fit into Ronaldo's way of playing as well. I don't think it's going to be either Ronaldo's way or Ten Hag's way. I think there can be a mix there. But look, I don't think it's a bad thing. I really don't. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok here. I see y'all in, guys. Father Ted is in. Jack is in. Jock is in there as well. Robbo. Let's see what people are saying here. Robbo says, positive more than negative. He's not going on strike. Absolutely. He's been professional. Yeah, absolutely. And look, he's coming back to train. But look, again, just because he's coming back to Manchester doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to be staying either. So look, we'll see what happens. I do think we'll get a conclusion to it pretty quickly over the next maybe week or so. Once Manchester United get back to Manchester, I think within the next week or so we'll basically know what's going to happen. Phil says it's not about winning, it's about the top scorer from what I've read. Yeah, well, that could be it as well. But I mean, I don't know. I think he wants to challenge for leagues. I mean, if it was about scoring goals, he will score more goals for Manchester United than he will for Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid are such a negative team, and Simeone is very defensive minded, that if he stays under the way that Ten Hag wants to play this on the front foot attacking kind of football, I think he'll score an awful lot more goals with United than he will with Atletico Madrid. Owen says, do you think Frankie will join in the end? I'm pretty confident we can get the deal done. Yeah, I mean, just to run through with Frankie de Jong, while you mention it. So I still do think we'll get him. I really do. Now, obviously, reports have been coming out in the last maybe 24 hours or so. Again, it's all down to the wages. And Barcelona are basically doing everything to force him out of the club. So from, refusing to maintain his wages, he'll have to stay. He'll have to take a 50% pay cut to stay, all the way to Xavi coming out and saying that I think he'd be a very good option for us at centre back, which is just crazy, So I don't see De Jong taking a wage cut, and why should he? When the likes of Lewandowski is in there and he's getting big money, and a lot of other players around him getting big money. I would be the same. I would say, well, you're not going to take advantage of me. Why am I going to be the fall guy? Give me what I'm owed, and if you give me what I'm owed, then I leave. Now, Barcelona supposedly have offered him, have given him an offer in terms of the wages that they owe him. Now, he's owed about 17 million in deferred wages. According to reports, Barcelona have offered him between 7 and 10 as a kind of a buyout. Look, we'll give you this if you go. And he's turned it down. And he's right to turn it down. He really is right to turn it down. And, I don't think this is going to hamper us in any way in terms of getting De Jong. I still think we'll get De Jong. I think Barcelona have showed the first sign of weakness in offering him something to get him out of the club. And De Jong just said no. And I think Barcelona will eventually come higher and higher with the amount that they're going to offer him in terms of the deferred wages that he's owed. And they'll reach a figure that De Jong is happy with, and he'll say, okay. And then, bang, deal with United, and it's done. So again, it goes back to what we said previously. I don't think United would still be in for De Jong this long if he wasn't interested in signing. So, yeah. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the chat. Zaki says, if we sign Anthony and Frankie de Jong and Cristiano stays, we'll compete for trophies. Well, I agree with you there. Now, look, I don't think we'll be competing for the league, but I certainly think we could have a right go at a cup competition and the Europa League maybe as well. Absolutely. I do. I agree there, without a doubt. Let's see what people are saying here. We'll try and scroll back through some of the comments here. Let me see here now. But it says, going over to Old Trafford for the pre-season game on Sunday, it will be interesting if he plays. Absolutely it will, yeah. Let's see. Ten Hag should say to Ronaldo, stay with us until January, and if we're doing bad, get him a Champions League club. Yeah, well, look, that's certainly another option there. I agree. And if Manchester United, do decide to let him go, I think it'll be on his term. It'll be on United's terms, and I think that's the way it should be. But there's not an awful lot of clubs queuing up for Cristiano Ronaldo here. All of the top clubs in Europe have basically turned him down, and well, maybe you'd be looking at Chelsea as a potential suitor for him, but United will not sell to Chelsea. They will not sell him to Chelsea, and rightly so, because I think Chelsea, I mean, a couple of weeks ago I was saying, okay, Chelsea are looking good, but all of a sudden you're looking at Chelsea and thinking, are you really going to get top four this year? So I can't see Manchester United, strengthening a potential rival for the upcoming season, so I don't see that happening either. Let's see what people are saying here. De Jong is not coming, we may get used to it. Leicester midfield, Tielemans best choice as Irish lad. Well, look, he's certainly an option. I think we need more than Tielemans if De Jong doesn't come. I think De Jong is a much better player than Tielemans, but I think Tielemans certainly is a good player. If we didn't get De Jong, and let's get onto it now, because reports have suggested, I thought it was 2015 again, we're back in for Milinkovic-Savic. I mean, this lad it just doesn't go away, links with this guy. So, according to Pletigol, that Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is indeed a backup solution if Manchester United do not get De Jong. United Loader, appreciate the gift, man. Thanks a lot. Anyone watching, guys, go and follow United Loader as well. He does a lot of good United content, so you'll see him in the chat there. Go over and give him a follow. But yeah, I mean, so again, these reports have suggested that Milinkovic-Savic is a backup if we don't get De Jong. He's 27 years of age. He has had a decent season. I just can't see the truth in it again. This fucker has used Manchester United at least 4 times in trying to, I suppose, maybe push a deal elsewhere and get a better contract offer at his current club and things like that. So I would be very surprised. But in saying that, if we do not get Frankie de Jong, I think we will, but on the off chance that we don't, I would want the likes of Tielemans, but I would also want maybe Ruben Neves in with him, because I think Frankie de Jong obviously is a top caliber player, and I think if you're not going to be getting someone in like his standards, if we can't get him, you need to bulk up with quantity more so than quality, in my opinion. But look, it's going to be interesting. Again, like I said, I do think we'll get him. I really do think we'll get De Jong in the end. But let's see what happens. Tig says De Jong could be given out in the dressing room and maybe even fighting with the gaffer. Cottle is in, good to see you, man. And Alex says De Jong is the type of player who United are going all in for. Back when Sir Alex was the gaffer, if De Jong said no to a move, Sir Alex would move on and signed another midfielder. Well, I agree with you there, Alex, absolutely. But you have to take into context the situation that Manchester United are now in compared to what they were when Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager. It was a lot easier to sign players when you're winning leagues and challenging for Champions Leagues every year. We're just not in that situation at the moment. So it's going to take time, and it's going to be stepping stones. So I think the reason why we're all in for De Jong is, we have no right to get him. We really don't, given the position that we're in on the back of our performance last season. We don't have any right to sign Frankie De Jong. And I think the Ten Hag connection there is basically the only real reason why he would consider playing for Manchester United. But I think it's a strong enough reason for us to sign him, absolutely. But yeah, and so this leads in nicely. We're talking about Ronaldo, and we're talking about attacking options, and of course we do need attacking options going forward. Please smash a like, by the way, in the video, guys. Anyone on YouTube, we have plenty of people in watching. Please take a second and hit the like button for us. It helps the channel out a ton. And we're well over 1,000 likes on TikTok as well, so keep tapping that screen for us as well, guys. Gets more people in the chat, gets us out to more people, and yeah, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. As well to anyone on YouTube, if you're watching, again, I mentioned it at the start, at the top of the chat, there is 2 links. One is for our Fantasy Football League, so make sure you go over and join that if you've got a fantasy football team. And the other one is our Discord. So I set up a Discord today. So click on the link, make sure you go over there and join our Discord as well. We'll be talking all things about football. It's the best way to kind of interact with each other there as well on our Discord page. So make sure you head over there and do that as well. But yeah, so obviously attacking options are of, I suppose, most importance this summer. And especially if Cristiano Ronaldo does decide to leave. Now, we have been linked in the last 24 hours or so with a young striker from the Austrian League. Let me just pull up the details here and we'll get him. So, Benjamin Sesko, is on Manchester United's shortlist. They regard him as one of the future stars, and that's according to Fabrizio Romano. Now, I mean, he plays for RB Salzburg, and I suppose, again, this is according to Fabrizio Romano, that Salzburg's plan was not to sell Sesko this summer, but rather next year. We'll know if Manchester United want to do a deal in the coming days, Now, there has been talks that a potential deal can be done for him with the option of loaning him back to Salzburg for a year. Now, I don't know, I think that all comes down to, I think that depends maybe on how the talks go with Cristiano Ronaldo next week, But, I mean, the figures that are after coming out for it. Now, he's 19 years of age, and he scored 10 goals last season in the Austrian League. Now, reports have suggested that it's 55 million that RB Salzburg are looking for him. Now, Troy says, how do I join the FPL? So, Troy, if you go to my homepage up here, click on my homepage, you'll see a link for my YouTube. And if you go over to YouTube, we're live there at the moment, and the link is in the chat. So if all you need to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll see the link in the chat. You just click the link and join from there. Okay. But yeah, so 55 million for Sesko. I mean, look, okay, I'm not going to pretend that I know an awful lot about him, because I don't. But for 55 million euro, you're going to need to have a better goal return than 10 league goals in the Austrian League, in my opinion. So I think 55 million is a crazy figure. I don't think we should be paying that amount. I don't think we will pay that amount. I would be looking at maximum 30 million, 35 million probably for a player of his age and for a player of his caliber. Now, he could potentially go on and have there's a lot of comparisons with him of an early Erling Haaland, and maybe a lot of the reasons for that are the fact that his stature is very similar. He plays the game very similar to him. Obviously, he's nowhere near the levels of Haaland at the moment, but reports have suggested that he's the next Haaland. So it's certainly looking bright for him. I think if we could get a player like him in, absolutely, it's certainly a positive in relation to a long-term successor to the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think if we could get him in this season, it would be, I think it would be more beneficial because he'll get a season playing under Cristiano Ronaldo, and it will create competition again through our forward line. So again, it comes down to what I've said, and anyone who's been watching my lives or any of my content in general will know that I will say if the manager wants him, I'm all for it. So if we do decide to go out and get him, all well and good. I don't think we should be paying 55 million for him. I think anywhere around 30 to 35 would be acceptable. But yeah, I mean, he's a big chap, and I mean, you look at the strikers we've been linked with throughout the summer, they've all been 6 foot plus. So Ten Hag clearly has a certain profile of striker that he wants. And it's a big, tall, strong striker. So, what way does he use him? Because if we have a big guy like that up front, and a lot of these big strikers now can move, they really can, and their link up play is good, and they have good pace and things like that. So maybe he's looking for a player that will give us the physical attributes you'd need in the box for corners and set pieces as well, and things like that. But it's certainly going to be interesting to see. Alex says, I'd be content with a window recruiting Tielemans, Sesko, Dumfries and another CM, not Neves. Neves has never impressed me. Obviously a great player, but not in bizarre. And Cottle says, never heard of Sesko until we were linked with him, but he looks promising. He does. And look, I do the usual thing, Cottle, when we're linked with players like this. I had heard of him before. There was very, very faint links with him to Manchester United in January because of Ranić's link with the RB, with Red Bull's recruitment teams throughout all of their clubs. But I done the usual thing, you check his stats, you look at some clips of him. He does look good, but clips will only show you so much, So obviously there's scouting systems, and the manager himself wants them, and things like that. So again, it goes back to what I said. If the manager wants him, I'm all for it. Really am. Alex says, from what I've heard, Salzburg want 55 million. His agent said he could be leaving at a price of 25. Yeah, well, that looks more promising, Alex. Absolutely. And Jock says, I can only see a link for Discord, not Prem. So they're all the way at the top. Jock, if you scroll all the way back up to the top of the chat, the very first one, I can only pin one link or one chat. So I'll repin it in a moment there. Let me just see. Give me 1 sec now. Yeah, it's the very, very first chat in the... Let me just unpin that one. Yeah, so if you go all the way to the top, the two links are there. Alex says, why are we looking at Sesko over Scamacca? Yesterday I thought Sesko was worth about 5 million. So, I mean, obviously Ten Hag, and it goes back to maybe what we were saying there, Alex, that if Ten Hag wants a certain style of striker, then he's going to go out and look at him, and it seems to be that kind of mold, like Nunez, Haaland, Sesko. Sesko fits that kind of, I'm not saying quality level, but I'm saying in terms of stature, in terms of physicality, they're very similar, Okay, let me just get the fantasy football link here again, guys, and I'll put it back in the chat for you. Let me see here. United Community Channel. Invite people. Now, so here we go. So link is in the chat, and it's pinned for the fantasy football. Yeah, so make sure you're joining the Discord group as well, guys. The more people we can get in there, the better as well. And Anthony says, we need a winger, number 6, and probably a right back. Anthony, Frankie de Jong should be bought. Absolutely, Anthony, I agree. Now, there has been reports as well with, let me see here now. I had it up here 2 seconds ago. So, again, this is coming from Fabrizio Romano, and it's in relation to a right back, that Dumfries, obviously Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan, could be one of the options should Aaron Wan-Bissaka leave. So I'm hearing talks and rumours and reports about this guy for the last couple of weeks, and I think if we are going to be going looking for a right back, I reckon he's the one we're going to go all out for. I really do. But I think he's a great player. Watkins, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciated. And Khaled says, hello, sorry, I'm an Arsenal diehard. Well, you're more than welcome. No problem at all. None of us are perfect. But yeah, so I think Manchester United aren't going to go for a right back until we get rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka first. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. I do think we need competition for right back. Obviously, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is being allowed to leave, and by the looks of it, Ethan Laird is going to be allowed to leave as well. So again, we're just going to have to wait and see. I don't really see us prioritising right back over maybe centre midfield or a striker option. But again, I mean, if something does come up, I don't see why we wouldn't go for it. But yeah, let's get through some of the TikTok comments here. We will get Dumfries if Wan-Bissaka leaves, says Nadex. Yeah, Irish lad, thanks for the gift. I appreciate it. And do you think Nunez will be a success as user? To be honest, I think he'll do okay. I do. I don't see why he wouldn't be. He's gone into a very good team. But I certainly do think he's going to score goals. I do. Let me just see now. Someone is telling me here too. Someone is asking me to go onto Fabrizio Romano's page here. So Fabrizio has said that Cristiano Ronaldo finally back in Manchester today, as reported by David Ornstein. He will discuss with Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag waiting to meet Cristiano as he wants to change his mind. George Mendes pushing to find a solution. Man United insist he's not for sale. Yeah, so look, I mean, as it goes on, it's looking more and more likely that he's going to stay, to be quite honest. But yeah, like we said, we'll find out in the coming days. We really will. Smash a like on the video for us, guys. I really appreciate it. There's 26 watching on YouTube and only 10 likes. So just, if you can, just take a second, hit that like button for us. It really helps out the channel a ton. And hit subscribe as well. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're nearly there. And we need to get our watch hours up to 4,000 as well to monetize. So we're flying it. We really are. And I appreciate everyone who's after subscribing already. Anyone on TikTok who's watching, if you do want to click on the link on my homepage and subscribe to the YouTube channel, feel free. All of our links are on the homepage. Our Discord, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. So go and give us a follow on all of them platforms as well. Anthony says, Aaron Wan-Bissaka didn't impress in the pre-season. I don't really think we should keep him. He's very average. Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. Absolutely there. I agree 100%. And Cottle says, agree that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not good enough. So look, while we're talking about pre-season, obviously, throwing away a two goal lead against Aston Villa the other day, and there's two big points that I took out of this game, right? And one of them is to do with with on-field performance, and the other has nothing got to do with on the field at all. Shamar is in. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. So the first one is David De Gea. David De Gea and his... okay, so David De Gea is arguably one of the best shot stoppers in the world, okay? But outside of that, I find it hard to put him up there with the best goalkeepers in the world. I really do. His physical presence in the 6-yard box is absolutely atrocious. It really is. We see them, the two crosses that came in against Aston Villa the other day, and he came out and basically completely missed both of them in no man's land. And you could see him kind of wincing, coming out, afraid of getting hit or, taking a heavy knock and things like that. And I think it's a big concern. I really do. I've said it now for a long time, and obviously his his shot stopping has, you know, been absolutely incredible for Manchester United, and he has rightly so, you know, won numerous Player of the Years over the last 10 years. I just have a feeling that his time at Manchester United is going to be very, very, very limited with Erik ten Hag as manager. I really do. I think he doesn't command his box well enough, and he's too nervous with the ball at his feet. He's just too nervous with the ball at his feet. And Erik ten Hag, I think, long term, won't want that. He will not stand for it. I think he's going to get rid of him. He's not going to get rid of him this year. Maybe not next year, if you know, we can improve other areas quickly. But I don't see De Gea being the long-term goalkeeper for Manchester United with Erik ten Hag being the manager. I just don't. And I think it's because of that. It's because of his lack of control in the box, his physicality, and the ball at his feet. His sweeper keeper skills are just not good enough, I don't think. I'd love to be stand corrected. I do see, you know, some improvements in him, you know, in terms of the ball at his feet in pre-season. But it's one thing doing it against Aston Villa, you know, or Melbourne Victory, and it's another thing doing it when, you know, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son are closing you down, or fucking, you know, Erling Haaland is bombing in on you. So look, let's wait and see. But I think he needs to improve. I really do. Let's see what people are saying here. Shamar says, what about Anthony? So no updates on Anthony as of now. Hassan says, please sir, can you update me about Frankie de Jong transfer? So it's Hassan, it's still a standoff between between Frankie de Jong and Barcelona. Barcelona have offered him 7 million out of the 17 that he's owed in deferred wages, and he's turned it down. So I think they just need to get closer with that, and once that happens, I think he'll be ours. I really do. Colin says, I'd be shocked if Ronaldo ends up leaving at this stage. There's no way he'll go to Atletico. That would ruin his legacy with Real Madrid. And Zaki says, I'm really amazed by Barcelona, how they treated Frankie de Jong. They have to pay him his money and let him go. I'm 100% sure Ten Hag has talked with him, and that's why he's waiting so long to sign. I agree with you 100%, Zaki. You're spot on there. Yep. Alex says, Ericsson spotted in Manchester. Obviously he hasn't been in training, or a United kid. And on Twitter, he's obviously made a couple of quotes. But what about Martinez? All gone quiet. What's happening? I don't know. I think maybe I'm not 100% sure with Martinez. And again, we've seen this kind of delay with Ericsson, so I'm not worried. I'm basically, the deal is done, I would think. You could be looking at things like Ajax waiting to get their replacement over the line before they officially release him. You know, some things like that. But I wouldn't be overly worried. Anthony says, what are your thoughts about Varane's performances? Well, I think Varane always puts in good performances if we can just keep him fit. You know, if he doesn't stay fit, you know, he can't put in good performances. You know, it's simple as that, really. Shamar said, what do you think about Ronaldo wanting to go to Atletico? Yeah, so look, I don't think he will. I don't. I think the more it goes on, I think the more likely he is to stay at Manchester United. Let's see. I think Ten Hag is just what you need. You'll never walk alone, says CK Malone. Yeah, well, I'm certainly happy he's our manager, to be honest. We expect classic football this time around. Reaper says, you guys should get Ferguson back and United will win again. Oh, God, I don't know about that. So about the game the other day, obviously I'm after talking about Irish lad is in. Any more news on Milinkovic-Savic as a plan B? Yeah, so supposedly United are linked with him. I'd be shocked if we go for him. I really would. I think there's better, younger options out there than Milinkovic-Savic. But look, let's wait and see. My second point on the United game versus Aston Villa, and well, it's not really that game specifically. It's about pre-season in general, and it's Garnacho. Like, Garnacho is on the pre-season tour. You know, he's been there. He's been training every training session. He's been available for every game, and he hasn't played a minute. Not 1 minute has he played. I'm worried about this. I really am. When Ten Hag was asked about it, he said, I can't give all young players games. I need to look at, giving games to potentially, starting teams and things like that. I'm worried about this. I am. I mean, this young lad could seriously just pack up and go. He has 1 year left on his contract. We've been negotiating with him for about 4 months now to sign a new contract, and he hasn't done it yet. He's gone out on pre-season tour, and he hasn't got a minute on the pitch. So I'm worried about it. I am. I'm worried about it because I guarantee you that the top clubs in Europe are already monitoring this guy. And they're monitoring the situation that's going on with Garnacho and the fact that he hasn't played in pre-season. So, look, it's I hope we can get him tied down to a new long-term contract first and foremost, and I hope he gets some game time in the coming 2 games. I really do. Big United fan from Kenya. Good to see you guys. I have Jamaica there as well. I see too. So yeah, look, I'm worried. I'm worried about Garnacho at the moment. Not hugely worried, but I would like to see him get some game time in pre-season over the next 2 games, and I would love to get him tied down to a new long-term contract. Mesh, thanks for the gift. I appreciate it. That's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Shamar says, when is the next game? So it's Saturday. We're playing Atletico Madrid in Oslo on Saturday, and then we have a game on Sunday in Old Trafford as well. So 2 games in 2 days. We'll be doing watch-alongs from both, guys. Alex says, if you thought Frankie Saga was bad, the Savage Saga is worse. Been going on for 6 years now. He doesn't want to join us. He uses us to get bigger contracts and offers. Yeah, absolutely. Shamar says, and any news about a new striker? Yeah, so we were mentioning Sesko there. We're linked with him, 19-year-old for RB Salzburg. But again, no major advances on him yet. It's just a name that we're really just been linked with. Albi is in and says, so if Ronnie stays and he doesn't be in the team, how's that going to work? Because he's going to kick off and be a disruption in the squad. Will Ten Hag be brave enough to dump him in the reserves? What do you think? Well, I certainly think that, I certainly think Ten Hag is strong enough to do something like that. I do. I don't think he'd have any issue with it. But I also think he's smart enough not to let it get to that. I think Ronaldo will play an awful lot of games if he does stay. I really do think he will. But he might not play as many games as he would like. So I think Ten Hag will have that conversation early with him, and we'll let him know, look, Ronnie, you'll be playing, but you're not going to be playing as much as you want to be playing. So, look, I'd be interested to see how it goes. I don't think he plays the first 2 or 3 games of the season. I really don't. His match sharpness is going to be nowhere near up to speed. And I think Anthony Martial, given his performances in pre-season, deserves, to start the season as our number 1 striker. He really does. But look, I'm under no illusions. Ronaldo will come back into that team, absolutely, and that's if he stays, And I think I do think Ten Hag is smart enough to he's smart enough to be able to deal with it, Right, we'll get through the last couple of comments, guys, because I have to run. I have a football match myself at 8:00. Cottle says, I'm going to Old Trafford for the Brighton game. Hopefully we can get the 3 points. Alex says, why are we playing Chong, who's 22? No disrespect, but 22 and done nothing. Garnacho is 17 and made his mark, deserves minutes in my opinion. Same with Jimmy Garner. Yeah, I agree. Now I do know Jimmy Garner was sick, Alex, so that's why he missed a lot of the games. But yeah, I agree with you there. Crazy Irishman is in. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Any news on Sangare? Or I fucking can't pronounce his name. No, I haven't heard any updates on him, to be honest with you. The last thing I heard, obviously he was being linked with Manchester United. The last thing I heard was that Manchester United actually refuted them links and said, no, we're actually not interested in him. So yeah, I haven't heard that since then. Do you think we can win Europa League, says Shamar? I certainly do, and I hope we do, because it gets us back into the Champions League, and it gets us back in by winning a trophy, and you're getting medals around players' necks, and you're building confidence and things like that. So yeah, absolutely. And Alex says, there's been interest-only rumours. Ten Hag likes Sangare, yeah, but not his ideal player, Mark Goldbridge, last night. Yeah, he did mention him last night as well. Please smash a like on the video, guys, as well. Anyone watching on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it. Please take a second, hit the like button. It helps out the channel a ton. And like I said, feel free to hit the subscribe button as well, bottom right-hand corner on the screen. And anyone on TikTok that's watching as well, if you click on our homepage, there's links to all our socials there as well. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We do watch-alongs for all of the Manchester United games as well on YouTube. So make sure you're going over to YouTube and subscribing there so you don't miss out on any of the watch-alongs. And like I said, we do have a Discord only set up. It's not fully set up. I have the outlines of it done as well. So yeah, go over and join our Discord as well. You know, it's the best place. You know, we'll try and build a little community there where, you know, we can get good conversations and chats going and stuff like that. But yeah, look, it's been great, guys. I know it's been a short one tonight, but I do have to go. I have a football game myself. We're going to be back live again on Wednesday night for our Transfer Talk show again. So for anyone that's new, Monday, Wednesday, we have a busy week this week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday for our Transfer Talk shows. And then we have 2 watch-alongs on the weekend. We have on Saturday and on Sunday. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, following, sharing, all of them good things. And yeah. So I'm going to run, guys. Appreciate it. Again, please smash a like on the video. I really appreciate it. Any comments, put them in the comment section down below, and I'll try and get back to you as quick as possible. But yeah, appreciate it, guys. See you Wednesday night.